Welcome back to the channel, everyone. For those of you who don't know us, my name is Jackie.
Just call me T.
And we are in the middle of evicting one of our tenants.
Once again.
We did not think that we would be here. Well, can't say ever, but we are here once again. But this story is definitely one for the records, okay? It involves pigs. It involves guns and a whole bunch of dark energy. But T, you want to head us off?
Sure, but make sure you go check out the other videos because Jack said it involved pigs and the guns, but
Yes.
I don't know if she forgot to mention that it involves fish. It also
No, I
involves
didn't mention the fish.
fish again because a dog name is Fish.
Yes.
So I don't think she mentioned that part. She forgot to mention that piece.
A whole entire farm.
Yes, I mean, I don't know if the lions, the tigers, and the bears were coming next because we are in Florida. So who knows what else they plan to bring there because they also had rats and other things. Go check out that video, especially with talking about the guns. I mean, you gotta go check out that video. So we have filed the proper paperwork, guys, for the eviction. And it's quite interesting because the other night, it was around, what, 7:30-ish or something?
7:30.
Sometime after 7, and Jack get a call, and she's like, hey, T, look, is this the tenant? Like we said at the same time, right? So I'm like, that's the same area code. And remember, we told you guys, too, she had multiple numbers, and she has multiple identities. Quite interesting. So we had already did our spill and found out about the other numbers by doing our research. So I'm like, that's one of the other numbers.
Yep.
That's one of the other
As soon as I called it out, T looked it up, was like, okay, that's the tenant right there.
Now keep in mind, I mean, she said, hey, I'm blocking you guys from the phone, blocking you guys from the email. Don't ever contact me. That was, the last message.
Harassment this, harassment that.
You guys
cease and desist that.
Intimidated us. You walked the property for 3 hours scaring. Oh, come on, please. Come on. You can't. I mean, who would even walk a place for 3 hours? That's a serious workout. I probably would have dropped about 15, 20 pounds. 3-hour walking. But, come on.
But T,
so
let's be serious. If someone was pacing your property for 3 hours, wouldn't you have called the cops?
Exactly.
Let's be serious here.
Come on now. So let's pick up to where we are. She called, and it was quite interesting because we had filed the paperwork for the eviction, and I'm like, that's interesting. She's calling now. So the next day, we decide to call the sheriffs because it's old school. You got to call to see if the person's been served or not.
Right.
I mean, this county, guys, I mean, things should work together, electronically.
Exactly. They do not work together.
Once it's filed, it should go in the records to show that, hey, this was posted or served, somehow to the tenant. That's how it should go. But
and don't they got sheriff in their name, like Sheriff County Court? Didn't they say that when we called?
Yeah,
it's like
it's so old school. We got to call and give the number. Hey, yeah, this is the number. Oh yeah, we did serve the person. Or when? Okay, doing this time. Okay, so here's my thing. If the tenant has gone, cleared the property, left all this stuff outside, didn't give us keys or anything, but left everything outside like this. If they've shut off the water, did not turn over the keys, but how do you know that you got served if you said that you left?
Answer that question, y'all, down there in the
because
the
she
comments.
called.
Yep, she called the same day, which was 2 days ago, which was what was today, Wednesday?
Today is
which
Wednesday.
Was Monday. She called because she got served. So how in the world would she know that? And we're going to get into more on it where it's just not possible for her to be spying. And that brings us to our next thing about the electricity. So the first thing that T and we said, okay, well, she must still have the electricity on, because if you watched our last video, you would know that the water was off, but the electricity was still on, because it is assumed that she was watching through the Ring cameras, which she was watching through the Ring cameras. So we decided to call the electric company, and we actually got it on recording. So let's play what happened when we called the electric company.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not showing an active contract at that address.
What do you mean by an active contract? So they cut it off?
Yeah, so in order to have services at a home, would have to have an active contract.
Do you know when they cut it off? Because they're still on a lease all the way through the end of November, and they cut off my water too. That's why I was calling about this to see if they even did that. The tenant's name.
We're electric only, and this has been off since the 17th.
The 17th. Wow. Okay, and they're on a lease till the end of November. So can I get some type of evidence, because I'm taking them to court, for this. It's been a lot of violation. They got pigs in my house and everything. So now the power's off, you're telling me, and my water's off. So can I get something to verify that's been shut off?
Yeah, I can't send out any information regarding that contract because obviously the contract that's not under your name.
But I need something that can show that it's off, at least, and the date.
There's not anything I could get you in that situation, unfortunately. There's not any documentation that we will prove that an address doesn't have services.
T?
Well, as you could see, the power, it's off. The tenant cut the power off
Since the 17th.
And I think it's wrong that, utility company cannot provide evidence to a landlord to validate that the tenant has cut off the power. Because what tenants like to do, guys, some of them like to be very, very sneaky, and they will blame that on the landlord.
Right.
They blame it. Same as the water. And that's why we went down there to get the evidence from the water company to show, hey, the tenant cut this off. So that's why we went down there and got that. You want to get all evidence, because some of these tenants, I'm telling you, they're very, very, very sneaky and try to use everything in their power, to set you up.
Right. And especially these tenants that we have right now, they will stop at no limits, you guys, to make sure that they could put T and I into a situation that, that is less than favorable. But I want to touch on the 17th. The 17th was a very special day.
Mm-hmm.
That was the day right after President's Day where we went to go do the inspection for the lease violations. When we walked in there was absolutely no water, but the electricity was on.
Mm-hmm.
T kept mentioning he felt like he was being watched.
I kept saying
because the ring kept going off. It kept showing up blue and stuff like that. So immediately after we left the property, you're telling me, T, they shut off the electricity?
Had to be. That's crazy. How it worked that way. I mean, it's the same day we were there. Imagine if we in there, then the power just flip off. Like that would have been
exactly. And we had the garage up
crazy.
and everything.
Yeah.
It would have been stuck. So I think it was planned to be cut off that day, but it's just how the stars all aligned.
Mm-hmm.
It made sure that we went to that property to see that property, and that was that.
Yeah.
That was that. So where are we now? We're officially day 2 of since the tenant has been served, and we have to go a total of 5 days. So you want to explain? 5 business days.
Yeah, so we have to wait 5 business days. The way it works, the day that they get served, well, the way it works here, because it works different in other places, the day that they get served, that day is basically like day 0. So the first day starts the next day, and then you have to wait a total of 5 business days. So, no weekends, no holidays included. And after the 5th day, that's when you can go back to the courts, and then you're going to file a motion for default judgment because they did not contest. Or if they contest, then they will have to put the money into the courts that paid their rent to the court, and they'll write the courts why they want to stay in the property, why they disagree. And so in this situation, with someone that you know clearly abandoned the property at this point, because now you're talking about abandonment on top of that. But you have to be careful, because with abandonment, especially with them not handing over the keys to you, it can be deemed as an illegal eviction. So you don't want to take that abandonment route. You want to go ahead and proceed to go through with the possession eviction route that we're taking. So
it's a safer route to go.
Much safer route to avoid, like I said, the possibility of illegal eviction. So we're waiting, that would be on Tuesday, I believe. Next Tuesday will be the day that we then, we'll check online to see if there's been a response. And the response will go down there to file that motion for a default judgment.
But until we get that paperwork from the sheriff, and that's why T's saying, oh, it's so old school. There is something that the sheriff is going to send in the mail, you guys. So we have to wait until we get that from the sheriff in order to begin that process of submitting a default judgment to the courts on the tenants, to get the tenants out of the property.
And by the way, you got to pay for everything. Everything. By the way, I mean, we might do another video breaking down the fees.
I think we should. The total cost of how much this eviction costs.
Yeah, we should, because even we're going back for that default judgment, we still have to pay again. I'll pay the courts again. And that's not even the end of it, guys. After that, then the judge basically has to, sign it. And once he concurs with it, then you got to go back to file again, and it's a process. Possession. Then after you file again, the next document, then you will get they'll issue a writ of possession, which you then just request, or you can go online. It should be online for you to pull the document. So it's a process.
And then you have to pay the sheriff to come out there and actually evict them. Yeah. So it's a lot of fees, but nowhere near what it would cost for a lawyer. Nowhere near.
Absolutely not.
So I think it would be helpful just to break down exactly how much this process costs.
But when you pay for a lawyer too, the lawyer also charges you for those fees.
Yes.
They charge document fees and everything that they tack on to it.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we got to do that video.
So if you are going to get a lawyer, you might want to get a flat fee lawyer if those are out here, but they're, far and few. But I mean,
but even the flat fees, we got to do the video.
Yeah, we are going to do that video. But as far as the next steps, we're waiting on next Tuesday, or we're waiting on whether or not the tenant is going to respond. But honestly, as far as the response goes, they're put in a really, really bad situation, because it's either one of two things. They're going to say that they're going to be at the property, or they just don't respond and it just gets defaulted. So either way it goes, there is no winning for them.
So this is how they, you got to pay chess. Here's another point too. So in the statute, if they do another violation within 12 months, that's the same violation, or it could be a similar violation, then you don't have to send out a notice to cure after that. They're now in violation, and you can then move forward with terminating that lease without even telling them about it. You just move forward the process and go to the courts. So that's a big thing as well about that. You gotta read them statutes.
Right.
I'm telling y'all. So in this case, one of the violations, for example, was the HVAC, and that connects to dealing with having the electricity on, and they clearly cut that off. Another violation was the plumbing when they mentioned that, how they
Right.
messed up the toilet. So they clearly cut off the water. So that's a, connection with that. So that's already two similar repeated violations within 12 months. And then of course not curing the other things that we listed in that violation letter as well. So
Yeah.
just want to throw that out there.
And I think that what would be helpful as well, T, another video, is what should the tenants have done to not make it escalate to that? Because y'all, it didn't have to get here.
No,
It really didn't. Like, they were being dramatic, and as you know, we're not those people that just want to go out and, you know what, we're just going to evict you. No, that's a last resort. Okay. We do understand these things go on people's records, but one thing we're not going to do is, you are not going to come into our properties and destroy our properties. You are not going to take the liberty and do whatever you want to do to our properties, especially how we hand over our properties to tenants. And for those of you who follow us, you know exactly what we're talking about. We don't just hand over any type of, anything out there. We're not slumlords. So,
but it's like, just to add to it, it's like these tenants, they forced us, you know what I'm saying, to do it. I mean, the constant disrespect, hanging up in Jack's face, after Jack called, like, hey, what are you talking about? We just talked about this. What's going on? And hung up. The rudeness, calling us out of our names, talking about then the other things with the threatening, harassment, discrimination,
accusing us of being racist, all this stuff,
accusing us of intimidating them. I mean, it's just so much unnecessary fluff. Sending, a document that's not a valid document for a cease and desist that has to go through the courts. You can't just write up a cease and desist and just send it through email that you drafted and created. Things don't work that way. It's so much, stuff that it's like, why are you doing all this? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is our home, Florida. We know our statutes and everything. We talk to people about this before even moving in. That's the thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about relationships and how relationships change, and we even told about the previous tenant situation.
Exactly.
I mean, but no matter what you do, people still end up doing, doing what they do for the bad way. It's crazy.
Exactly. And we take this stuff very, very serious. Outside of YouTube and outside of all of this, what you guys see us do, we actually help Florida landlords walk through the process as well. So that's what T and we do on a really regular basis. We have one person right now, they want to become a landlord. So they're shadowing us through this whole entire process. And when I tell you, he was so appreciative of just being able to walk the house and how we conducted ourselves with the tenant, even though they are just completely disrespectful. And I can't wait till that footage come out, y'all. It is coming. We're just,
but we got three
like
people.
T said, yep, 3 people. We're playing chess here.
I'm talking about that we're helping with the process. Remember the guy we met when we were sitting down? Met a guy at a restaurant sitting down.
The guy at the restaurant.
Then we had another person too. So I mean, we just help.
We definitely take this stuff serious. That's why we always ask, if you want to get into business, just let us know. If you want us to put out any type of content that will be helpful about this, we know we said we're going to try to deviate away from real estate and go back into our travel content. But I mean, honestly, this is what we are known for. This is what we've been doing. And
we're going to tackle it all.
We're going to tackle it all. We're going to tackle it all. But let us know what you think about this situation. Let us know if you think she's going to respond. I want to know that. Do you think that the tenant is going to respond to the notice? Yeah,
and the thing is too, I mean, I think what we do here is so valuable because, I mean, it saves so much money, y'all.
Right.
I mean, like I said, them lawyers, I mean, you got to pay their fee, then you got to pay all the other fees that come with it, and it's in the fine print about additional fees coming on for documents and everything. And without a lawyer, you're basically just paying for the documents yourself, but they're also tackling, tackling adding more charges to the documents, because now they're looking at it as their time spent to having to go and do it. But in actuality, you can actually do that stuff online. But that's for a whole nother video. I'm
And
telling
that's
y'all,
exactly how they do it. They
I'm
do it
telling
online.
you, like, it's if we ain't gonna save you money by doing it, I'm telling you, that's one thing you're gonna take away from what we have coming up. Like, save you so much money, and then you're gonna learn like how, because I know some people in the comments are like, man, I don't know if I want to do it or not, with being it. But there's ways. We have to put out so much stuff now about it. I'm telling y'all.
Yeah, because there's some people that say just be landlords in landlord states. That's what we hear a lot and stuff like this. But honestly, if you follow the law and to the T, and really understand the different ways that it can work in your favor as a landlord and not intrude on the tenant, then you have no problem. You really have no problem. Like T mentioned, we're working on something behind the scenes for people that want to be landlords. So I think this is going to be really good.
It's gonna be like no other.
It's going to
I'm
be a
telling you, I'm
game
not even like trying to
changer.
hype it up or nothing like that. I'm telling you, it's the information
You're
that
trying to
we
hype it up?
know. No, I'm not even doing it. It's just being straight up what it is, because telling the information we know is beyond what anybody ever put out. Like, I'm telling you, that's just what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully we can get that out here soon. But just make sure you keep on with this journey about what's going to happen with this tenant. But most importantly, we still have not seen the house. And anyone that's tracking, it's been a freeze over here in Florida. So we are definitely concerned about, our utilities being off, especially the water. But we absolutely, teetotally cannot turn on any utilities at all. No matter what, we cannot do it right now. So that's the thing that we're dealing with right now, because we are seriously worried about our property just over there.
Well, that is the update, and the next update will be sometime next week.
Mm-hmm.
So in the meantime, we have other things that we want to put out too.
Yeah.
So it might be another video dropping
Fairly
for
soon.
next week. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. And let us know if you guys want us to go live on something, and we can make that happen as well.
Yep.
And until next time, you all, peace out.
See ya.